Hello, I'm Stephanie Haney, back with your latest headlines from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. We do now have the updated numbers in from the Ohio Department of Health. We get those each day at 2 p.m., so we have those latest numbers for you related to COVID-19 coronavirus. Stick around with us through the end because we do have something for you related to Earth Day at the end for the kids that'll hopefully put everybody in a good mood and give everybody something else to think about today as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. So we do have those updated numbers from the Ohio Department of Health. I'll be sharing those with you now. The total number of COVID-19 coronavirus, these are confirmed and probable cases under the expanded CDC guidelines, are now 14,117 here in the state of Ohio. There's a total of 14,117 COVID-19 cases now in the state of Ohio, according to the Ohio Department of Health. That is an increase of 392 cases up from yesterday. So if you've been following along with the way the new number of cases has been going, we had a couple days of pretty significant increases. 1,300 cases, about 800 cases. Now we've chopped that in less than half, so 392 new cases between yesterday and today. So that is definitely good news. Now the number of deaths has risen again. The total number of deaths as of 2 p.m. today is 610. That's up from 557 yesterday. So that's 53 new confirmed deaths related to COVID-19 coronavirus, confirmed and probable deaths under that expanded CDC definition. If you have been tracking the way the deaths have been increasing, it's been the opposite of what's been happening with the cases. We had a couple days in a row where we had 20 new deaths, then 38 new deaths. Then yesterday there were 48 new deaths, and today there are 53 new deaths. So not increasing at that doubling rate that we saw a few days ago, but increasing just a bit to 53 now. Of course, any number of deaths is an incredible number of deaths, and our hearts go out to those families. The age range for people who are confirmed and probable for COVID-19 coronavirus remains from less than 1 to up to 106 years old, with a median age of 51 for the people who are being reported as having COVID-19 coronavirus, either confirmed or probably so. And then that breakdown between males and females is 60% male and 40% female. Now, how we compare to the rest of the country, across the U.S., we now have almost 831,000 cases of COVID-19 coronavirus and a total of 45,638 deaths. Worldwide, there are now about 2.6 million reported cases of COVID-19 and a total of 180,784 deaths. Now, those are the numbers as reported by CNN this afternoon just before going live here. In Italy, the deaths have now reached about 25,000 due to COVID-19. The country was facing significant issues with hospital space and ventilators, but in good news for the country of Italy, they are now starting to see a plateau in case numbers. But in the last 25 hours, 437 people have died within the country. The number of recorded positive cases in Italy is now 180,857. There is now a new skin condition that is possibly linked to COVID-19 coronavirus, and this is showing up in children and young adults who don't have any other symptoms. So if you're not experiencing that shortness of breath, you're not experiencing fever, those kinds of things, you might be experiencing something called COVID toes. That's how it's being referred to if you do have COVID-19 and don't have any of those other symptoms. And this has been appearing, as I said, in children and young adults without those symptoms. So what it is lesions or painful bumps and sometimes frostbite-like areas of purple, blue, or red discoloration, and that's showing up in the toes and also on the fingers. Northwestern University medical dermatologist Dr. Amy Paller said she's seen large numbers of this popping up mainly in teens and young adults. Dr. Paller, who is the chair of dermatology at Northwestern University's Feinberg School of Medicine, she said the lesions can be itchy and painful, but the individuals, again, don't generally have any of the other signs of viral infections like COVID-19. Researchers have also noted similar cases in Italy, Spain, and France. Now, this is according to a report by the General Council of Official Colleges of Podiatrists in Spain. Dr. Peller said, because testing has been so limited, they can't definitively say whether or not the condition is linked to coronavirus, but early studies seem to suggest that it is. Again, they're referring to this as COVID toes. So keep an eye on your fingers and your toes. That might be a possible indication that you could have COVID-19 and are asymptomatic in all other ways. We have some tough news for university hospital employees. University hospitals are reducing hours and pay for caregivers who are not involved in patient care. Now, if you hear that, you might be thinking exactly what I was thinking, which is the hospitals are very busy right now, so why would university hospitals be needing to reduce hours and pay for these workers? Well, it's due to a decline in revenue from elective procedures that have been temporarily suspended. So if you remember, that is part of one of the first phases to potentially reopen Ohio starting May 1st is to bring back those elective surgeries on an outpatient basis only as part of phase 1. University Hospitals now estimates that the temporary cut is expected to affect about 4,100 of their caregivers. UH says the temporary cut will be roughly a 20% reduction for 10 weeks. The employees will still maintain their eligibility for full-time benefits during this time. Cuyahoga County is also experiencing issues with being able to pay its workers. Cuyahoga County is temporarily laying off nearly 300 employees. This is part of a new $5 million cost reduction plan. Employees who are still working will have significantly reduced hours in the coming weeks and months. CCPL official Tracy Strobel said in a statement, like everyone else, Cuyahoga County Public Library, now this is specific to the library, is experiencing the economic impact of COVID-19 pandemic, and we must make incredibly difficult decisions to reduce our operating costs, but these steps are essential to the long-term sustainability of the library system. So the goal is to make these cuts now in order to help the library survive and come back stronger than ever when we all get out of this thing. In the city of Akron, there have been some new cancellations. The city has canceled its July 4th fireworks display. They've also canceled their Lock 3 Summer Festival. And all city-sponsored events with an expected attendance of 250 people or more that are scheduled between now and September 7th are canceled in the city of Akron. So a few other events that will not take place, the Italian Festival, that was to take place July 9th through 11th, that has been canceled. The African American Festival, that was to be July 18th and 19th, canceled. Taste of Ireland, that was to be on August 8th, canceled. The Pizza Festival, that was to take place September 4th through 6th, canceled. Also, the annual Akron Arts Expo, that would have been July 23rd through the 26th, so several days event there. That has now been canceled. The Deputy Mayor for Integrative Development, James Hardy, said this in a statement. After a lengthy discussion with state and local health officials, we determined it was not tenable to plan large, close-quarters events for this spring or summer, as those would likely still create an unacceptable risk of spreading COVID-19. Additionally, it will be necessary for the city to put in place public health protocols for programming that does occur this summer, including wearing cloth masks and achieving good physical distancing. We want to give our staff, performers, and fans timely information so they know what to expect and how to plan. Today, New York City announced they will go forward with their July 4th fireworks. So the fireworks will go off, but it'll be happening in a different way. So we're sure that there will be strict physical distancing guidelines in place for that, and we'll look forward to seeing what happens there. The July 4th fireworks in New York City, of course, are typically televised, so we'll be keeping an eye on that as well. The Cuyahoga Community College Jazz Fest is also canceled. This year would have been the 41st annual Tri-C Jazz Fest, and it was supposed to take place in late June. Tri-C will refund anyone who already purchased their tickets for the event, and the event is also working on an online option so that they can present music for jazz lovers in the area. No official plans are released though, but again, we will let you know when we have information on where you can find the music that you would have gotten to hear at the Tri-C Jazz Fest. Okay, here's that story I promised you about celebrating Earth Day with your kids. This is from our 3 News Go team anchor Maureen Kyle and the Mom Squad. where you can make weather in a bag at home. It's just as easy as that. So all you need is a plastic bag, water, and a sunny window. You can also use food coloring if you want to. And here's what you do. This is about making your own cloud. So you pour the water in a bag. You can decorate the bag if you want to. Maybe put a little sunshine on there. And then maybe like a little strip of grass, whatever you want to do, decorate it up. And you can put food coloring in there if you want to see the water be bright blue. And then you tape it in the window. You tape it in a sunny window. Now, as the sun comes in and heats that up, you will see the bag sort of expand and it will get cloudy. Literally cloudy, because what's happening is you're growing a cloud as the water heats up and evaporates and those vapors go up into the bag. It fills up and you've got yourself a little cloud there. And then overnight, as it cools down, when you check in the morning, you'll see water droplets on the side of the bag, because as the vapor cools down and it turns back into a liquid. And that is the weather cycle at work, if you want to share that with your kids, because today is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. So no better time to show them how it all happens. All right, those are your afternoon updates. I'm Stephanie Haney. You can catch more on What's New at 5 p.m. I'll see you there. You can also get more on What Matters Most at 6 p.m., Front Row at 7 p.m., and What's Next at 11 p.m. And I will see you back here tomorrow at 11 a.m.